Good morning, and here is this week's food for thought. As we've entered into our first full week of Lent, I've often stopped and thought about Lent. Yeah, the word Lent is not mentioned in the Bible. We don't see the Jews observing Lent. We don't see it as that. And what really is the purpose behind that of Lent? What can we get out of Lent? And I like to use acronyms from time to time to kind of help explain what I think about Lent and what I think is just so important for so many of us. And I have an acronym for Lent that I wanted to share with you today. Now, acronym is where the first letter stands for something else. So we would look at words that would start with the letter L, and then a word that would start with the letter E, and then a word that would start with the letter N, and then a word that would start with the letter T. And as I look at for Lent, here's something I wanted you to think about. Let's eliminate negative thinking. Let's eliminate negative thinking. Negative thinking about what? First off, let's eliminate negative thinking about God. What is some of the negative thinking that people may have about God? Is that God's busy? That God may not really care about you, or that God may not really care about me? Maybe, just maybe, even that God is a vengeful or an angry God, and that's the only thing that He is. That He's there not to care for us or to take away our fun or to take away our joy in life. But in reality, God is actually the opposite. And those things right there give a negative idea of who God is. Now, yes, we do recognize that God is love. And anyone who truly loves someone else and is in an authority role, there's going to come time, though, when there's going to be needed for correction. There's going to be need for even judgment. There's going to be need for rebuke, and God does that. And it doesn't mean that He doesn't care for us, or that we should think of Him negatively. But in reality, we should thank God for when He casts judgment upon us, when He tries to correct us and remind us what we need to do. And how about negative towards one another? Is it easy to talk negative about one another? Is it easy to talk behind one another's back? Is it easy to point out faults? Is it easy to find the negative things or even assume negative things about other people? You see, as we go through this Lent, we're called to do two things. The law and the prophets are summarized by two things. Love the Lord your God with all your heart, with all your soul, with all your mind, and with all your strength. And the second commandment is like this: love your neighbors yourself. When we look at that, the third thing that we're called to do and we're called to love is we need to recognize that we are fearfully and wonderfully made. And we may be able to look and think of those negative things and the things that just don't look the way we would hope they look. Maybe we're not that supreme athlete with bodybuilding physique, or maybe that supermodel. But I want to let you know that God has fearfully and wonderfully made you today. And you are fearfully and wonderfully the person He has called you to be, even with all your quirks. So I tell you, as we go through Lent, as we look at an opportunity and building that relationship, let that relationship be built on love. First, the love we have for God. Then the love we have for one another. And then thirdly, the love we have for who God has made us. And in those areas where we may fall short, know that our God loves us so much that He says, I still love you, and is there to help us and to pick us up in those times of need. Let's eliminate negative thinking. That's my challenge for you for this week for Lent. Have a great week. God bless.